Hi, welcome to another Kickstarter review. We're continuing with the series where I look at crowdfunding, board game crowdfunding pages, and I try to see it from a point of view as if I'm the super fan for this game. Meaning, I'm not going to look at it as from my taste in board games, but as if this is the perfect board game for me and to see if there's anything in the storytelling of the campaign page which is stopping me from buying. And that could be things that confuse me, that don't give me the info in a clear way, or that might turn me off. Okay, so it's not like straightforward. A little go back and forth. Sometimes I'll give some input of what I think as Ori Kagan. But yeah, that's the main idea. So let's dive right into it. And today I've chosen to look at Invitation to, and again, I butcher words all the time. Feel free to make fun of me. Invitation to Etariya Island. Etariya Island. Splash tree, a board, okay, and another icon, a map icon, I think. So, first of all, I'm scrolling on Kickstarter and I love the colors. It's really hard to tell with the first image, but the colors are the first thing that jumps into my eye. And then I see the title. The title is overwhelming. I'm like, sometimes I might think that this would be an error. There are like a few like bottom lines here, which I don't know what that's about. And emojis are an interesting way to capture eye when you're scrolling down social media and things like that, or in your emails when you have like a newsletter email and it has emojis, it stands out. But now we've grown accustomed to it, sometimes it just creates more noise. Okay, so it's an interesting thing to think about. Do we want to add emojis? How many do we add? Do we want to add? What are they serving? Currently, I feel like I don't even know what the name of the game is just from looking at it. I just see a lot of words. I think this is a little bit over too much and it gets cut off. So, obviously, no, it's a board game because I didn't see it's a board game, but just a thing to consider. But let's get into it. So here we can see the full thing. Oh, there's even more emojis. A board game duet. Now, I think that was a missed opportunity because a board game duet is a very intriguing term. What does that mean? I guess that means something for two players, but that sounds very interesting. A duet, it's like you're playing off each other. So is it going to be a cooperative? Is it going to be? It's very interesting, and I feel like you lose that. And you see here the title is fixed. Something was wrong. So I would. The name of the game is Etari. Sorry, Etariya. Okay, this is something I gotta say about board games that have made up names. I think it can be really, really cool, and I think this one is still okay. Etariya. If I guess I said a few times and I'll hear it, I'll be fine. Some games have the most ridiculous long, like the lands of, and I cannot just read it with one glance. I need to go down and like break the word apart, and if I want to read it out loud or repeat it, it becomes a challenge. And then it becomes harder to talk about that game because you say, "Oh, I saw this amazing game on Kickstarter yesterday. Oh, cool. What was its name?" It was Invitation to something island. Okay, it doesn't latch onto our brains. It's very, very difficult. So I don't know what the alternative is because I imagine there was a lot of work that went into this name, into the world, into the world building. But if there is a way to keep the name of the game simple, okay, just the name, and then the subtitle could be the long made up name of the fantasy land or whatever, that might be smarter. So immediately, people could say, "Oh, I saw this game. It was called uh, uh, um, uh, The Delightful Adventure or something like that. And then the subtitle was Into the Land of Etariya. Something like that. You don't need to remember that, but you know that subtitle, that main title, it's easier to repeat. Okay. By the way, this is going to be 20 minutes. I'm not going to do all my best to not cross the 20-minute mark. When I get to 20 minutes, hard stop. So, let's continue. 2 board games on a fantasy island featuring strategic gameplay and a grand adventure. Oh, so a board game duet doesn't mean 2 players. It means that it's 2 board games. That's interesting. Why 2? Is it 2 for the price of 1? Do they complement each other? I see they're both in the same world, but I'm curious. I love like world buildings. I love exploring new worlds, and I love when games look different. So the color palette is immediately catching me. That's like the number one selling point for me right now. And now that I open this, I see the characters and I love this art style. I love that there's like some quirk to it and fuzzy creatures. That's like right up my alley. Let's look at this video, and it's the products we love. Okay, that means good. And it's funded. Okay, it's not too funded, but I'm interested. Let's have a look at the video. Okay, so we're going theme all the way theme, and I love anime. I love these types of shows that have um, characters, young characters exploring the world, and I'm definitely into it. But from a narrative standpoint, will this also work as a game? I don't know anything about the game, and something about this transition was a little weird, like a lantern. But okay, this was a very well made and high quality TV. See, I'm almost saying TV show. This actually looks like a trailer for a TV show. I'm interested about the board game. This could have easily continued for another minute, giving me a little bit more info about why 2 board games. That's my biggest question right now. Why 2 board games? What's special about it? So let's continue. So again, with the name butchering, Moa Diaz Game Design. I met them during This Is Real Me. Met them at UKGE. Wonderful people. They had they had a beautiful booth, and I remember commenting in the booth, "Wow, those colors are just amazing." Okay, so that is definitely one of the most attractive thing about these games. So let's look in deeper. So again, it's 2 different games. We have it's a little small, it's hard to read, but this Septa Choroma. I guess, sorry, I'm not going to even try. And then the Elven Relics, I could read that. Thank you. 2 games in 1 campaign. So we have welcome to Etariya. My name is Sarskar Royer. I'm here to invite you to come and experience with us. So we're still very, very thematic. Enter the world where adventure awaits at every roll. Okay, dice. That's the first time I'm getting a hint of how this game plays. Immerse yourself in the musical magic. Every note paints a picture at Etariya. I'm going to just say it a few times. Etariya, Etariya, Etariya. Okay. Explore the legendary island to unveil the divine mysteries. Okay, so we're having here a repeat of the same art a few times. I would have loved to see something new at this time. But okay, now they're breaking down the difference between the games. Okay, so this was cool. This was a nice intro, but still very mysterious. And I have to say that, I am now too curious and I want to know more about the game. So I'm just going to be starting to scroll down. I don't have the patience to read anymore. So I scroll down. It's like, oh, okay. This is a relatively small game. Yep, I see the dice. I see the deck of cards, and I see nice meeples. Looks to be this like dice manipulation game. Okay, intense and decisive action choices, highly suspenseful player interaction, a conflict between immediate benefits and long-term foresights. Okay. Oh, this is scaring me. Oh no, I hate math. Plus, minus, times, division. Those are symbols that scare me a bit. I mean, I enjoy when I need to think when I'm playing games, but doing math while playing games is stressful. Okay, and customizable expansion mode. Okay, that's interesting. But this didn't tell me anything about the game. I'm still everything is guessing. So let's go back here. Elven Relics is a 1 to 4 player light strategy game that includes mechanics such as hand management, worker placement, and dice control. Okay, that is sort of what I guessed. You're one of the adventurers worldwide who flock to Etariya in search of hidden runes. Survey your surroundings and map out a unique exploration route to make the most of your discovery. Okay. But who's against who? I mean, am I against? Are we together? Are we against each other? I have so many questions. I have so many questions. It's like an exploration game. Okay, so let's continue. Let's see the next game. Okay, this is still Etariya. Okay, so here's a little bit more info. 1 to 4, 15 plus. Okay, that means it's not too simple. Okay, 30 minutes is good. I love short games. And Elven Relics, you acquire cards through observing, and then play those cards to score points by recording. When recording, you need to spend the corresponding dice points, which can be obtained through exploration in each round. It is important to strategically plan placement of your markers, such as a starting point and end points, as the location cards. Okay, I'm lost. I'm lost. I need some sort of visual explanation to what's happening here. At least for this. I know it's coming up, but this was I mean, what am I feeling when I'm playing this game? What am I experiencing? Where am I going? What do I need to do to win? After completing the game immediately ends after 4 journeys, and then you score points based on cards you have recorded, and the value of each card will be determined. So yes, this does feel like a lot of points and a lot of math, and I feel like the magic was a little lost. Okay, I gotta say, like, just stop. I don't want to be harsh. I feel like I'm being a little bit harsh. Okay? I'm literally trying to project the way I'm feeling now as someone who was really excited by that first image, thought that we're like talking about a specific type of game, and as I'm going down, I'm realizing this might be something else. So I'm now trying to fix my position about it. Um, but let's continue for now. So I apologize. This is a great looking campaign. I'm really just trying to see how we can make this a bit clearer. How do we play? Observe. The cards in your hands will serve as both as your future scoring objectives and a means to anticipate the unavailability of those ruins on the game board. I didn't sorry, I didn't understand it. I didn't it was just it was when we do these gifts, we need to, in a way, and I'm not trying to sound condescending, but we need to dumb it down. It needs to be like one thing for every single step along the way. So the cards in your hands can serve as both your future scoring cards or objectives and a means to anticipate the availability of those runes in the game board. Okay, so now I'm trying to break this down, and I'm getting stressed because I need to understand it live as I'm recording this. They can go both as future scoring objectives and a means to anticipate the unavailability of the. Okay, so I have the cards. I know that they will score me certain amount of points, and I know that they won't be appearing in the ruins. Okay. I feel like this could have been done with graphics much, much better in a way that draw cards and then cards have two purposes. One, score points according to these symbols. Two, these cards will not appear on the map. Okay, it's just this sort of like breaking it apart and visual distinction of what means what would make me immediately upon looking at it and skimming through this, I'll understand what you're talking about. Record, play cards from your hand, stash them for scoring. You'll need to reduce the value of a die, but you can strategically do this to evade negative effects. That I understood. That's cool. You're playing cards, you're affecting the dice roll, and that affects your points. The cards you'll play will be stashed in front of you, scoring points at the end of the game. All right. Observe or record, that is the question. I'm getting this now. This is starting to okay, and now it's a distinction between these two. Plan. Okay, at this point, whoa, there's so much stuff. This doesn't feel like a light game anymore. It feels a little. Now I understand why it's 15 plus. Like I would not be able to play this game with a 10-year-old or a 13-year-old. It's very complicated. And then we have and more. Okay, this is like 4D chess in a way. You need to think about it so many ways, different ways. A very thinky game. And that clashes a bit with the sort of relaxing vibe I got from the video and from the cover. It's like, yeah, look, fun but challenging. A simple game with a lot of strategy and planning. It's a fun strategy game that keeps you on your toes. Cool mechanics, beautiful art, a good little dice manipulation game. So yeah, that look, you can see they're thinking really hard. This is a thinky game. That's interesting. And this was just one game. Now it's time to look at game two. This is a 2-player abstract game with beautiful components and several variants for advanced play. The players are two gods of light and dark battling for the control of Etariya. Players alternate turns guiding the 7 tribes to regions of either eternal day or eternal night, striving to own 4 tribes they can rule the land. So I remember seeing this at the convention. This was actually a cool game because I understood it pretty quickly. And it scratches that itch of a nice, beautiful, abstract game. So I'm going to be switching now super fans. I was, until now, the type of person that loves adventure games with gorgeous art and beautiful characters. I was hoping to be able to play those characters, to go to them with adventures, to discover the world. And I'm realizing pretty quickly that this is not the games for me. So I was intrigued by the video, I was intrigued by the cover, but as soon as I got to this point, maybe even this point, I realized, nah, this isn't for me. And I clicked away. Now suppose I'm a different person. I'm a guy that loves crunchy, thinky, abstract games. I love dice manipulation. I love it when it comes in like simple versions like Sagrada and Azul, and I love when it becomes more complicated, such as I don't have games coming off the top of my head, but games that have like very intense dice manipulation that you're playing the cards right and your skill level really goes up as you're playing. Then I'm looking delightfully at 2 games which fit exactly with the types of games that I like. Nice, crunchy, small, abstract games. And you're getting 2 for the price of 1. I want to know how much this is, Am I getting a good deal? There was no price anywhere here. Okay? So I'm going to have to do some work to figure it out because here we go. Abstract games. So Rookie Adventure, you can get either or. Like choosing one of them, and that's 27 USD. That's a pretty fair price for a small game like this. Okay? And then you obviously want to get both of them because they both seem to be pointing towards the same type of gamer, and $50 for both of them, that's a good deal. That's definitely a good deal. And then we have the artwork as well. Honestly, I don't think I'm getting the art book. I mean, I like the art, but I'm interested in the gameplay. That's the type of gamer I am, and I think this game, I would love to master it, especially the second game. The second game is way more up my alley. I mean, look, you get different overlays and you have these like beautiful tokens, and yeah, I mean, what is this made out of? Tribe stones, advantage tokens. What are they made out of? I'd love to know. Is it like cardboard? Is it wood? Is it stone? Because that's one of the things I love about abstract games. Oh, here we got metal coins. We have an original soundtrack. I mean, that's nice, but it's not really my thing. And playmats. Yep, I want the playmats. And okay, we got some stretch goals. We got some reviews. Excellent. And we have more about the world. I don't care about the world. I care about the game. See, I'm being extreme. Okay, I'm being extreme. But it's difficult to care about a world when what you have is an abstract game to it. Oh, there's like comics and everything. Going back to that first hat, and I know I'm 21 minutes, so I'm trying to wrap this up as quickly as possible. Going to that previous hat, if this was an adventure game with creatures and dangers and things along the way, I'm all for this, knowing more about it. And it feels like it's trying to fight for two audiences rather than just one, and catering to him all the way. Design my character. Whoa. Okay, so that's interesting. So let's see what would the pledge levels, and we would wrap up. So we have just the original soundtrack. Okay, 18 people back for that one. Interesting. Then we have just the one, 10 people, nobody wants that. And just the other, also 9 people. And then we have both of them together, we have 45. And then Master Adventurer 9. Okay, that, I guess most people just want the games. Then we have the Legendary Adventure that gets the playmats. That's what I'm into. We have 23. Okay, but it gets a lot of stuff that, who knows if they're interested in. Metal coins is also nice. And then we have the Master Pledge, and there is 0 for that. Okay, so this is important. This is the final thing I wanna talk about before we end up. Having the big one, okay, the big fish one, where you become a character in the game, where you can, I don't know, have this sort of big impact on this game that would be super VIP deluxe exclusive, and of course you get everything from that. It's cool that those are gifts. I didn't know that you can do gifts here. Only do a pledge level like this when you already have at least 1 or 2 people in mind that are going to pledge for it. Okay? Otherwise, it just sits here all by itself, and nobody's backing it, and it just doesn't look good. So have at least one person, and this could even be like a family member that wants to support you. Just find someone that at least don't leave this empty. Show it some love, so at least someone found the value there and someone backed it, and it looks better for everyone else. So it's interesting. The people that mostly went for are exactly what I guessed, the veteran adventurer, just wanting the 2 games. Everything else feels like it's catering to that other guy that was interested about the world, the story, the art book. Okay, so this is something that what we can learn for. And okay, 40 seconds and then we cut. When you build your campaign page, and this could go from the design, okay, try to figure out who this game is for and try to think like them. Okay, you might save yourself a lot of work from creating assets which just don't fit with this audience. Okay, I mean, if this game was a very stripped down version of this and was strictly saying an abstract game. It doesn't even say abstract here, okay? And it says on a 2 board games in a fantasy island. That throws me somewhere completely different. And here's it mentions strategic gameplay and a grand adventure. It just, I don't think that's a type of game this is. You know, this isn't a grand adventure. This is a cool game, but it's not a grand adventure. It's something else. And that confusion can lead a lot of people that this game is for them to miss out on it. What can they do to fix it? Well, one is change this, okay, the line here, and change the title. Have the word abstract somewhere to know that if I'm an abstract game lover, these are game for me. This is a game for me. Tell me it's going to be a crunchy game. The added value is that it's beautiful. That shouldn't come first. But since it's such a strong element, it's there and you should look at it, look at this game, but know what's inside of the box before you dive in a little bit further. Okay, I hope this was helpful. I did go a bit over time. I'll do my best to minimize that. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to, I'd never said this until now, but yeah, subscribe for more videos like this and share if there's anything you've noticed about this campaign and how it could improve. Let's start helping each other, okay? And what you learned for your own campaign. Yeah. All right, that's all. Bye-bye.